name is Norma Castañeda, and I am currently the principal at St. John Paul II High School. Okay, so when Paul Alfuso was in 7th and 8th grade, I was the principal at Bishop Garriga. And so he was an excellent student, academically, spiritually, socially, athletically, just one of those role model students. And so this last year, when I was still the principal there, Paul Alfuso sent me an email telling me that he had to work on his Eagle Scout project, and so he had chosen our school. So we bounced ideas back and forth, the Rose Garden, another garden in the front, and so then at the end we concluded that it would be the Rose Garden. Some of those roses had died during the freeze, so it was something that needed to be done. So then Paul ran with that idea, designed the whole rendition of it, and did the whole cost analysis of it, the time frame, and he was always communicating with me. Also, another little area where there's some pavers that are shaped in the form of a rosary, he did that as well. It was already there, but they had been there for a long time, so he was going to repaint all of those. So when it was all completed, it was actually a surprise. They knew he was working on this project, but he did it on weekends, and the final completion was on a weekend, so when they came, it was a very nice surprise, and the staff was complimentary, and the students as well. Paul, we will forever be grateful for you choosing us for this Eagle Scout project. You have left a lasting impression, in not only physically by the roses that are there, but also in our hearts, and I wish you the best, and this is definitely a class act, and I hope that you win.
Hey, Paul. Father Peter Martinez here. I just want to thank you for all the work that you put in your leadership in regard to the Rose Garden. It showed introspection by remembering where you came from and wanting to give back, and also being a good steward, focusing on all that is good, true, and beautiful. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. Thank you, and God bless.
My name is Fred Saenz, and this is the Southside Little Miss Kickball. I am one of the field directors out here. The need for the Eagle Scout project was good for the field here. It was a picnic table for the girls to come and sit down after the games, before the games, to have their snacks or even eat their meal stuff. The parents enjoy it. It's very convenient for them. The Eagle Scout was my grandson, and he was talking about projects, and I brought up that we've had some here and that we could use some tables out here at the field. And he came out here and looked at it and liked the project and went with that project. Once he had everything coordinated with the wood and materials and everything, he came out here and he took charge of the situation, explaining what to do, what needed to be done, how it needed to be done, and the time to get it done, and was coordinating with everybody and working as he did real good as a leader, demonstrating how to supervise, basically. Bryce Dietz is my grandson, and I'm very proud of you. You did very good, very professional work you did. The project was very convenient for everyone. I'm very proud of you completing the Eagle Scout project. I know that it's a long journey to get there. I know very many Scouts don't get to that point, and I'm very proud of you. And I love you very much. You did a great job.
My name is Hannah Gush. I've been working with the Blood Center for about 4 years. I'm at the Coastal Bend Blood Center, the sole provider of the Coastal Bend. So I am a communication specialist, donor recruiter here at the Coastal Bend, and have had a wonderful time getting to know Jonah. We are in our local high schools every 56 days hosting blood drives. Jonah was attending Bishop High School at the time, and I got a call from Jonah wanting to know how he could do more. Bishop High School hosts their blood drives every 56 days, but he wanted to take on this project in a very personal way. And so Jonah knew that the impact was there for blood donations, but unfortunately we always need more. And so he made it his project to make sure that units were on the shelves to save lives if needed. And he reached out to us and basically said, I want this to be my project. I want to host blood drives. How do we do this? And that's when the conversation first started. So Jonah not only hosted one blood drive, but hosted two. So that was an amazing event that he could have hosted. And then to host another one was even a bigger bonus. And so his first blood drive collected 13 units of blood, and his second blood drive collected 12 units of blood. Both times his goals were to collect at least 12, so each time he either hit his goal or went above and beyond. Thank you, Jonah, for saving lives and understanding the mission of the Coastal Bend Blood Center. Not only did you earn your red cord by donating blood, but you went above and beyond. Thank you so much for allowing us to save lives with you here at the Coastal Bend Blood Center and in our community.
So my name is Lisa Yashik, and I am the CTE specialist at London High School, and I overlook all the programs for career and technical education. So last spring we were planning for the fall semester for the new school year, and my principal and I met and discussed what we would like to see happen at our campus. And because our health science program is an upcoming growing program, we felt that it would be ideal to have a lab at our campus for multiple reasons. One is ideally is to service our students on campus to save time on transportation instead of going to Del Mar. Two is the students, younger classmen like 8th graders, 9th graders, students that aren't in the program, to see the students in action with their scrubs on, and that we have this program here. So it marketed itself and we would have it on campus. This project was a game changer for us because one, he, in addition to donating his items and then us utilizing the items that we received from a grant, he was instrumental in setting it all up. He brought a crew in of volunteers and set up the entire classroom, the beds, the mannequins, the stations, so that our students would be ready for the fall semester when school started. Health science was the most needed support. So at that time, Christian explained to me that one, he needed to fundraise and he needed to do that by himself. And then two, he needed to figure out where he would spend his donation and his hard-earned money, which ended up leading to these face masks that are used for BLS, basic life support, when the students are doing CPR and first aid. So we had these, we had cuffs for blood pressure checking, a lot of PPE, gloves, masks for the students when they're attending to patients. And even though they're attending to mannequins, they also attend, when they do phlebotomy and EKG, they also do it with a live person. Christian, I would like to thank you for selecting London ISD for your Eagle Scout project. Your project has impacted many students in the health science program. I have no doubt that you're going to do great things starting college. We look forward to hearing about your future endeavors and success. Please don't forget us and come back.
My name is Tom Estes, and I'm president of the Bishop Cemetery Association. And we're responsible for the care and upkeep of Wrestling Memory Park, which is where we are right now. I actually met the scout after they presented the project to us. The actual contact for the project was our Secretary-Treasurer, Nancy Smith, who passed away in November 20th, which was 10 days after the dedication of the memorial project. She's the one that began the correspondence with scouts on the project. So after they presented it to us, the board, for possibility, that's when I was able to meet the family that's involved. First of all, we didn't have any way to identify the veterans unless the family of the veteran had provided identification at the location of the headstone or the burial. And secondly, we didn't have a directory that was available to the public for the entire cemetery. The community was in need of a directory, and this really fills that need now. Reagan, we appreciate your contribution to our community, to our cemetery, and we wish you the best in your schooling and your future plans. And we genuinely appreciate what you've done for the cemetery and the community.
My name is Stephen Herndon. I am the pastor here at Community of Faith Church here in Corpus Christi. Emmanuel Villegas, he was the one wanting to do the project. He needed a project to do for his Eagle Scouts rank. And so we had a couple of different ones that we were wanting. One of the bigger ones was the getting a water line made for the community garden that we have behind our church that we use for one of our ministry programs. It's a community garden where a lot of our members grow their own stuff several times throughout the year. And then also there's like a prayer garden, a prayer walk and track and trail, a gazebo and everything that's out there. So a lot of our older members are having a hard time watering the garden, so they would have to like bring their own water bottles from somewhere or go to like a water spigot that might be in front of the building itself. That's probably a good, 50 yards away from the actual garden, so it's hauling water back and forth and all that kind of good stuff. And so that was one of the biggest needs that we had in terms of the projects that we were wanting done. I know Emmanuel from the we as the church, we host or sponsor the Scouts, the troop that's here. He's part of that troop, and so that's just kind of how we met. It's been great. I mean, a lot of people were really impressed by Emmanuel's determination, because in the beginning he had a lot of setbacks and waiting on plumbers to come and just the city stuff and trying to find out like what's going to be the best way to do this project. And then finally we just kind of had an irrigation company came out and they said, well, you got this irrigation line, you can basically tie that into everything, and that you can use that as long as it's still in good condition, use that to run the water line that's out there. And so basically we did that behind the church and set it up out there for the people that use the garden. They love it because it's so much easier. It's right there, it's convenient, they don't have to haul water back and forth or bring water jugs from home or anything like that. And so it's been really great. And then for the church congregation itself, it's been really positive because it just, the Scouts have already done so much for us in their brief time here. Emmanuel, we are very proud of you. We're just so thankful for what you've done for the church in terms of the water project. And I know the garden, everybody in the garden ministry and everything, they're so proud of you and happy for what you did. We just appreciate your determination, your persistence. You could have easily given up, especially as getting towards that crunch time and down to the wire, your deadline that you needed. But thank the Lord that you are persistent in it and that the Lord helped you get through it, and everything got done. And so again, we just couldn't be more proud of you and thankful for you for what you've done. And so we just wish you all the best in the future and in your endeavors and everything. We know God's got some good plans for you, and God bless you and thank you.
And I'm David Schreiber. I'm with Community of Faith Church. I am a deacon here at the church. A couple of Boy Scout groups that meet here, and one of the problems we have a garden in the back, and we didn't have any water back there. And we have an elderly congregation, and they would have to bring water from their house. So you can imagine when it's 100 degrees out there and they're having to water several days a week, bringing 5, 10, 15 gallons of water from their house, it's a huge inconvenience and burden. The project would help put a water line back there so we could have a water hose and they'd have water. Well, when I met Emmanuel, I was up here, came up to kind of oversee what they were doing in case they had any questions or any needs so I could help them out. And I was thoroughly impressed by him and his group because when we had the plumbers come out to help do part of the main repair, he did a JSA, job safety analysis. What can go wrong? He kept everybody safe. He kept the Scouts helping him, he kept them in line, kept them working. He went over the safety concerns with them, what could go wrong and why we need to do this. He was real professional, and for a young man to be that professional this early on was quite impressive. Emmanuel, I can't tell you how proud I am of you. It's like I told you when you finished the project and you got your award. It was an amazing feat. It was a blessing to see how professional you were with your peers, your fellow Scouts. You kept them in line. You did all the right things. The Lord has great things in store for you in the future. Just keep your head up and keep moving forward.
My name is David Newstead. I work for the Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program based here in Corpus Christi, Texas. What I do here specifically with the program is I direct what's called the Coastal Bird Program. The estuary program broadly is focused on conservation of natural resources and wildlife and water and air quality and things like that throughout the Coastal Bend. One of our main roles here within the bird program is to address the historic declines in water bird populations. And these are things like herons and egrets, pelicans, skimmers, things like that that have been declining for a long time. So One of the things that we saw happening was a decline in long-legged wading birds like great blue heron, great egrets, and things like that. And so to address that, we recognized that there was a limitation in nesting places. These birds typically like to nest in brush, in trees, up off the ground, and there was not a lot of that habitat available to them in the area. Historically, we started seeing birds nesting on man-made structures like power line or power poles. So what we had decided to do was to try to see if we could lure birds back to these historic nesting islands by using an artificial platform. I've known Mr. Nunez for about a decade now. I've known his family, his mother and father for a long time, going back 20, 30 years. They live in the same neighborhood as us. You know, we're friends and neighbors, and I've watched Mr. Nunez, Adrian grow over the years and show interest in the work that we do in the natural environment and for birds. So when it came time for him to pursue an Eagle Scout project, he'd shown some interest in what he could help, how he could help local bird populations. So we discussed some of the potential options, and he decided he wanted to try to help these great blue herons on these islands. Adrian, I'm really, really proud of you for carrying this project forward. I'm really, really appreciative that you selected to spend your time and this considerable effort to do this, to something that benefits the birds. As you've seen, as we've shown you, the birds did respond right away, and I hope this. It's been a pleasure watching you grow up and move on, and to see you now excelling in college. And I know you've got a great future ahead of you. Appreciate it.
My name is Judy Gonzalez, and I'm with the Bishop Chamber of Commerce. And for this project, I became involved because I am a board member for the Bishop Parks Board. Yes, we have many different birds and turtles and species and frogs and so forth out at our park. And when the only place that they have to go is up on shore, there is a danger of, either people or dogs or animals, harming them or so forth. So this was something that Riley had come up with, and we thought it was a great idea. Riley approached us about building a habitat for the fish. Actually, there's actually a habitat in the water, and then there's an above the water habitat for amphibians and ducks and turtles and different species. So it's a huge project. So he had to have the skill to be able to build it, but also for it to be able to float and be above water. I think he did most of the project on his own and built it at home on his own. And he brought it to the park but when he did put it into the park, other scouts had to help him, take it out into the middle of the pond, which is only 18 inches deep. So it was a big deal to get it out to the middle because it's a lot of sludge, and he did a great job all the way around. Riley, congratulations on a very important project. I think it's going to be great for our park and great for our community. I really appreciate all the hard work that you put into this, and I hope other scouts will follow in your footsteps and try to help our ecosystem the way you have.
My name is Travis Acord. I'm the PE teacher at Jackson Roosevelt Elementary in Port Lavaca, Texas, where we produce quality schools, quality education to produce successful students. I met John because he was a former student here at Jackson Roosevelt, and his mother was an administrator here, his sister was a substitute teacher here, so he was very much involved in the school and connected to the school and wanted to give back to the students here at Jackson Roosevelt Elementary. So John came to me with the idea to build a Gaga ball pit for his Eagle Scout project here at Jackson Roosevelt Elementary. I know that he spent several months gathering donations, going door to door to businesses to raise the funds to buy all the treated lumber, the hardware, and he did a fantastic job building it. It's super sturdy. It will last a lifetime, but this was his project, his idea he came to me with that he wanted to give back to the school. The administrators are extremely happy. It was even used as a reward system. John, I can't thank you enough for all your hard work, effort, and the countless man hours that went into this project. It has made a huge impact on our school, our students, and we can't thank you enough. I also want to congratulate you on being recognized, and you deserve it.
So my name is Nkechi Mba. I am the medical director for the Cancer and Blood Disorder Center at the Driscoll Children's Hospital. Okay. So this hospital is the only children's hospital in Child, Texas. So I oversee the care of children, and young adults with cancer and blood disorder that come to Driscoll Children's Hospital. So we have a comprehensive, blood and cancer disorder program that takes care of all types of cancers and all types of blood disorders. The Eagle Scout Joseph is actually a colleague, a schoolmate colleague of my son, and they swim together. And the mom had actually, he wanted to do something to make a difference. When he found out I worked with children with cancer, he approached his mom and asked if his mom could reach out to me and find out if there was something he could do to help. So in that way, I told the mom that whatever he could do to help kids feel better, would be helpful, and that's how the project started. He came up with this, and I think, I guess when you think about Build the Beer and bringing out the best in each of us, I think that was really what he was thinking about. How do I help kids going through, a very difficult journey in their life? How do I help, them make the most of that journey? Joseph, congratulations, and thank you so much for doing this. By doing this, you're making a difference in the lives of children who are going through a very difficult journey, their cancer journey. We appreciate your doing this, and I know that this is just the first step in all the great things you're going to end up doing in your life. Thank you.
My name is Becca Smith. I am a certified child life specialist here in the Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Driscoll Children's Hospital. A big part of my job is helping children and families understand the hospital through play, through education, through preparing them for any painful procedures they might have. And we also focus on their coping skills throughout their hospitalization and navigating chronic illness such as cancer and blood disorders. Dr. Imba, our medical director, reached out to me to be there when we received the donation of the bears, and I was able to distribute them to our children when they come in to receive their chemotherapy treatments or other treatments that are necessary for their care. Patients come to clinic, they're not exactly happy or excited to come because a lot of times they go through painful procedures here or they receive medicines that might not make them feel so well. So for them to be able to receive just a cozy little teddy bear and that they can cuddle with while they're receiving these treatments puts a smile on their face, and I think that is enough impact in itself. Congratulations, Joseph. This is well deserved. We truly appreciate all the time and effort that went into this project, and it put a smile on lots of kids' faces. So thank you.